Hey guys, I'm Elliott, this is Everything Elliott, and this is my John Deere 50 Mini Excavator. Today, we're gonna be servicing this thing. We're gonna do engine oil filter, hydraulic oil filter, fuel filters, air filters, final drive oil, and see that? Doesn't look great. We're gonna put a new seat in this thing as well. I don't know necessarily what order we're gonna do it in, so I'll put little chapters down in the bottom for you. We're definitely starting with engine oil because I know exactly how that's done and it'll get done quickly. And before we get too far into this video is sponsored by ConEquip Construction Parts. More on them later. I think you're gonna like what you hear. So let's jump right into the engine oil and get to it. All right, let's get some gloves on. Oil fill we just took off, that is chock full of oil. And here's our check, oil filter. Let's get it draining. There we go. All right, we're just gonna let this drain for a little bit. We'll go up top and do the oil filter while it's draining. There we go. Nice and easy. And there's no telling where this is gonna drain. I mean, hopefully I can get both of those in the same bucket wherever this starts leaking. Let's see, where are you gonna start dripping? Oh yeah, both in the same bucket. Beautiful. No. So while that oil's draining, I think this is the perfect time to tell you guys about ConEquip Parts. So ConEquip Parts is a construction equipment, tractor equipment, basically all of your machinery parts supplier. And they supply more than just filters and stuff like that. You can get cylinders and stuff. And the thing that I like about them the most is they're local. They're based in the United States. They're actually local to me, but they service the entire United States. Can you see me better now? They're, like I said, locally owned. All Americans, you call them on the phone, you're gonna talk to somebody that speaks English, and that says something nowadays. They offer multiple options on parts, remanufactured, OEM, used, new aftermarket, and they work with over 3,000 vetted and verified vendors for those parts. It's a company in the United States, and they can supply parts that are also made in the USA. So ConEquip provided all of the filters for this machine as well as the seat. So let me tell you how easy it really was. I called them up, I said, hey, this is the machine I have, this is the serial number, and this is what I need. They called me back about 30 minutes later with everything, said no problem, we got it all, we'll get it to you. I had everything, I think it was like 4 days later. It was within a week, let's just put it that way. It was within a week, I had everything, ready to rock and roll. And it couldn't have been easier. And the thing that I loved most about the entire transaction is actually speaking to a real human being that was a native English speaker, I guess you could say. I have a tough time talking to people on the phone that English isn't their first language. I'm probably not the only one. So make sure you guys go check out ConEquip, and they've got some pretty cool promotions going on. I was over there the other day talking with the guys. Like I said, they're local to me, so I've been to their business. I've been to their place of business. It's a real place. I've walked inside the building, said hello to the employees, and I was over there talking to them. They got some pretty exciting stuff coming up, you know, promotions, and I can't give it away, so I can't tell you about it. But they were telling me about it, and I'm pretty excited about it. So make sure you guys go check out their website, give them a call. Everything you need will be in the description of the video. All right, now that you guys know about ConEquip, let's get the oil filter on here. Hand tight. Don't forget to tighten this up. There we go. All right, we're gonna be using John Deere fluid today because this is the first time I'm servicing it, so I think they told me like 7.3 quarts or something, and it says 7 quarts of oil right here, so we'll throw 7 in it and see what happens. All right, that's 4 quarts down. 3 more to go, if my math is correct. All right, that's 7 quarts. We'll wait to check it till the end, because we got a bunch of other stuff to do. All right, while we're in here, we might as well do this air filter. Oof. Let's get the inner one out as well. Also pretty dusty. There we go. I was like, why isn't that all the way in? If you're wondering what I do with the oil, this is the engine oil we just drained. I'm gonna just dump it in my heater. This is that noisy thing you hear in the background in all of my videos in the wintertime. Lanier waste oil heater, burns everything. All right, so that's it for the engine oil and filter. The next thing we need to do is hydraulic filter and the fluid. Let me just look over here. So the hydraulic tank is right here behind this cover. This is a cap that you can see the top, and I can't really get to the bottom of it because the tracks are there. So I think we need to spin the machine and see if there's a drain on the bottom of the tank. I have to imagine there is. So if not, I don't know what we're gonna do. So if you're wondering why I put it in this configuration that it is, this will push as much hydraulic fluid back to, let me turn this off, back to the tank as possible. So all the booms are retracted as far as they'll go. The blade is up all the way. You know what I think I'm gonna do? Is spin this machine around. The problem I have is this is 13 gallons and there's really no room to get a 5-gallon bucket under there with the way this blade is. This empty bucket, we got to get a couple more. I got them sitting over there. We got the machine turned around, and we're gonna see what happens when we crack open the, I don't know, there's like a cover under there. We're gonna crack that open and see what it looks like. All right, let's see what's behind door number 1. Yep, there's a drain on this, and it is up there. That appears to be the drain. And it looks like we got a leaky fitting right there, so we'll check to make sure that's nice and tight while we're under here. All right, I know this is gonna be fast and furious. I know I'm gonna need 3 buckets. So I'm gonna line the 2 back empty ones up. This one's gonna fill, so then I could just pull and then pull, and hopefully this works. I know this is gonna be fast and furious, and it's probably gonna be messy if I were to guess. Oh, I told you it was gonna be fast and furious. And I'm glad I was wearing safety glasses because it's all over my glasses. Let's get this breather opened. There we go, now we're talking. The fluid looks really clean though, that's a good thing. All right, 1 bucket almost done. All right. All right, and that should be the last bucket. I was not kidding when I said it got all over my glasses. I'm glad I'm wearing safety glasses. The action camera that's down underneath the machine is soaked in oil. So we're just going to let this drain. We'll let it drip drain for a while too. And in the meantime, I guess we can do something a little cleaner and go replace the seat. No oil involved in replacing the seat. I need to get cleaned up a little bit. Need to wipe my face down. Need to clean this camera off. Just out here drinking greasy floor water, dude. Nope, I don't want you. I was just seeing how that water is. Is that the good stuff? I mean, it's snow melting water, so I guess it's really not a huge deal, but it's probably still pretty dirty. All right, we're gonna put the new seat in. And the reason we're putting the new seat in is, I think I showed you earlier, but this thing is whooped. Like whooped. You can see the seat pan on that side. We're gonna get this thing out of here. I think it's 4 bolts on the bottom. Shouldn't be too bad. Yep. Now you should be able to appreciate how much nicer that one is. All right, we got to get this thing unwrapped and see how we're going to mount it. This is a suspension seat. The one that was in the machine was not, which is nice, but it is going to sit a little bit higher. All right, pretend that this chair right here is the excavator seat that I just took out, right? And the machine has armrests in the machine that's not attached to the chair, and they stay in one position. Let's say those are right there, right? So that's a very comfortable spot. It's not bad if they move up, but to go down, you hunch over, right? So if the new seat I put in is higher, and those armrests are at the same spot, this is going to be very uncomfortable. I would rather have them be higher because I can just move the seat back, but you can't force yourself to go lower, you have to hunch over. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take those mounting blocks that were for the old seat, we're gonna take those out and use this new universal system, put those ones in, and see how that goes. I think that's what we're gonna do. Those 1 and 2, those are the blocks that we'll take out. We'll replace those with these right here. Well, I thought I was recording, but apparently I wasn't. I had to do a little modification to this. Cut out some material for the bucket controls. It's a little warm. See how this comes up at an angle? That one over there is straight, so I can get it over nice and far. This one, I could not. So we just cut that front out, so now it can sit over further, like that. See? All right, hopefully this is the only modification I have to make to this base to make it fit. I am going to put the seat in. If something goes horribly wrong, I'll jump back on camera, but hopefully not, and the next time you see me is sitting in this seat. I'll be completely honest with you. Once I got that seat bracket modified, the rest of the seat went in like a breeze. It really wasn't hard at all, and the seat feels great. It's got some suspension, suspension. It's got some suspension in it, and the height feels really good. And also, I can recline way back and take a little nappy nap if I want to. All right, next we've got to cap the hydraulic fluid, which means we need to go find our hydraulic drain plug. It's in one of the buckets, and we need to plug it. And then we need to do the hydraulic filter and fill it back up. The nice thing about this heater is this dump pan. This has got a strainer on it, so I can take that 5-gallon jug, dump it in here, it'll drain out, and the drain bolt will just be laying in here. Look at how clean that is. This is what came out of the machine. Pretty sure the bolt is in this bucket right here. Yep, there it goes. There it is. All right, let's dump the other 2 buckets while we're right here. Let me tell you something about this headlamp. This headlamp is from Elliott. Elliott sponsored a video probably over a year ago. You know what? It definitely was over a year ago. Because I used it last year for undercoating. And this headlamp is still kicking. It works great. I love the thing. And it's not working in the most easy of conditions. I use it only in my shop. So if you need a good headlamp recommendation, Elliott is the one. How tight do we want this? That's probably good. While I'm under here, I want to check that connection up there. See why that's leaking. We go grab a big honking wrench. That's about as tight gets. Huh, why is that leaking? I mean, it's not leaking bad enough that I see it on the ground. I don't know why it's leaking. But that's all put back in there. So we could put this cover back on. I should probably scrape the gunk off of it first. At least we know this panel will never rust. All right, let's get this thing reinstalled. I don't really remember which way it goes. This way? All right, that's done. Up to the top, hydraulic filter time. There certainly is a filter in there. There's 2 of them actually. And I don't know how this comes out of here. Oh. That's how it comes out apparently. Probably shouldn't let that drain into the tank. And I put all my buckets away. So that hole that is nearest the bottom of your screen, this is kind of tough. That hole that's to the bottom of the screen, that's where I just pulled that filter out. And then that filter there, I believe is the strainer, maybe. I don't think I ordered one of those, if I'm being completely honest. I guess I didn't expect to see 2 filters in here. But we definitely have, this should be the hydraulic filter. Yep, looks identical. Ugh. can't even reach it. I think we're just gonna live with that filter being not changed. I can't even reach it. Maybe if I had skinnier arms. All right, that's in. This John Deere fluid is clear. That's pretty wild. And the reason I went with John Deere fluid instead of just like, you know, AutoZone or Tractor Supply, is this will probably be the only time I ever change the hydraulic fluid in this machine. I don't know how often the interval is, but I would imagine it's somewhere around 1,000 hours. And this machine will be long gone from my property before I put 1,000 hours on it. All right, there's 5 gallons. All right, here's 10 gallons. It's about $250 in fluid I just put in there. I can see the eyesight, and we're not to it yet. So I'm gonna add up to the middle of the eyesight. And then there's a, I think it's on the inside somewhere. It tells you where the stick and boom should be when you're checking the hydraulic fluid, which I don't know what that is off the top of my head. So I'll fill it up to the middle of the eyesight. That'll get us on the glass, and then I'm gonna go find out. You know what, I'll go look now. Extended bucket cylinder, retracted arm cylinder, and bucket on ground. It's honestly about 13 gallons right there, I bet. All right, my son's up from his nap, which means I gotta go get him, but before I forget what I'm doing, I wanna just check this. So let's do the procedure, and then we'll check the fluid level. Should probably also check the oil while I'm at it. Oil looks great. It's at the top 3/4 mark. Put that down. Don't hit the camera, don't hit the camera, don't hit the camera. Woo! So I guess like that. And we are, I don't know if you could see that. Probably not, but it is right there in the center. You can kind of see that bubble a little bit right there. So I'm happy with that for right now. We'll just keep an eye on that. Because if there is a small leak, then we'll have to just slowly add a little bit here and there. But the interesting thing is I went to John Deere to get this fluid, and I said, hey, this is my machine. I need the fluids for it. What's it take? And they said ISO 46, the hydraulic fluid. There we go. And I just looked on the side here. Well, actually, let me say this. The lady at the parts counter said, oh, it says high guard. There's 2 different type of hydraulic fluids. ISO 46 and high guard are the 2 John Deere fluids, as far as I understand. She said, oh, it takes high guard. And then she's like, well, let me go ask Mike. I don't even know what the guy's name was. She comes back out and she's like, oh no, it's ISO 46. Well, if you look right here, John Deere high guard, or other oils meaning John Deere standard. So I just dumped, I don't know, $400 worth of fluid into this machine, and it's not the right fluid. So I'm gonna be going to John Deere tomorrow and saying, hey, you told me this goes in it, and I just did that and looked in my book, and it says it actually needs high guard. I'm not buying another $300 worth of fluid or $400 worth of fluid. I'll see what they say. If they want to give me high guard, then I'll dump this fluid out and put high guard in it, but I'll see what they say. Yeah, my son's up from nap, so I gotta go inside. When I come back out here, probably after bedtime tonight, we are going to do, I think the only thing we got left is the final drives. I think fuel filters. Fuel filters and final drives. That's tonight. All right, well, I'm back in the shop. My son's in the background. He helped me do the final drive on the far side of the machine, and now we're ready to do it on this side of the machine. And I'll be honest with you, the results of those the final drive we did was not impressive. I took a picture. I'll put that up now. So that is not the right amount nor the right color of gear oil. So hopefully this side looks a little better. You riding your tractor, dude? Got all sorts of toys in here. You see all these toys in here? They're in here for him. Obviously, he gets to ride them around in the wintertime. I'll empty everything out and he can ride around in the shop, but that's neither here nor there. Let's get the oil changed. These are usually not this easy to get out. The last dude that owned this put a bunch of never sees on there, which is a great idea because these normally get really jammed up. Oh, there's actually some oil in there. Still not the right color, but at least there's some in there. All right, I'll let that drain for like probably 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna hit it with some brake clean inside there. Get all the nasties out, and then some compressed air. So now we just dump gear oil in the top here until it comes out of here, which takes about a quart. There you go, that's the noise you're looking for. Just confirm we got some leaking out of here. That means we got the right fluid level. Yep, look at it coming out. All right, put this back in. The gears in here are just oil baths, so having a smidge too much isn't gonna kill it. We're done with the gear oil. The only thing we got left is the fuel filters. And since it is Sunday, the Bills are playing. It is currently 4:35. The game started 10 minutes ago. I'm gonna go watch the game. See you guys in a bit. I don't know who he thinks he is, being on top of my truck. All right, so last order of business is the fuel filters. I think that's all I got left. On my machine, they're in this little door here. So we have two different filters, one here, one there. Pretty simple. Turn the fuel off to both of them, like so. Then you just grab yourself a wrench, spin that off, take that out, and replace. So there's one. Not super great looking. So I just went and dumped the fuel out of it. And I don't know if you can see all the crud that's in the bottom there. All that. I'm gonna get some brake clean and clean that out. It's all like algae and stuff. All right, so now that it's nice and clean, we'll grab the new filter and reinstall it. I almost wonder if I should take that back one out. Well, I got all this space in here. Here's the new filter. Nothing really at the bottom of this one. Maybe there is. And this filter is pretty gross. Alright, that one's a little better too. Put the filter on the housing, or like that. Alright, I think that's all that needs. Do the same thing here. This one up and in. Alright, let's open these back up and see if any fuel gravity feeds. No? Turn the key on, see if it'll pump some fuel in there. Is it click-clacking away? Oh yeah, look at the fuel filling up. That's a good sign. And now it's filling up the second one. I don't know if you could see in there. Moment of truth with diesels. After you do fuel filters, will it start? Newer diesels are all self-priming. Older ones, this might not be a self-priming system. We're fitting to find out here, lickety-split, if we're gonna have to crack these injector lines or not. I hope not. They're all pretty easy to get at if we do have to crack them, so that's not a concern of mine. There's only one way to find out though. No fuel dripping. The machine started. You always got to let it run, make sure it's gonna stay running. That's it. That's all she wrote. So that is every fluid and filter asterisk. I didn't get the hydraulic strainer for this machine. I didn't know it had one. So, but you saw it. So that is every fluid and filter on a mini excavator that you could possibly do. I mean, I guess if you have AC, you might have like a cabin air filter. I don't though. No cabin air filter on this thing. This thing is now, I know, ready to go out on jobs. Everything's done. Everything's ready to rock and roll. I can pull this back outside, get it out of my shop. What else? That's it. If you guys have any questions about servicing your mini excavator, leave a comment below. Don't forget to check out ConEquip Parts. Again, the sponsor of today's video. Show them some love. Check them out. Phone number, email, website, everything's in the description. Everything you need is down there. They can get you all the parts you need. They don't do fluids. They can't get you fluids. They can get all your parts though. They can get all your parts. Check them out. What more is there to say? We're done. That was quite the project. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that subscribe button. And until the next video, hope you have a great day. And the Bills won, if you're wondering. So it's always a good day when the Bills win.